Hey plant fam, welcome back. Today we're going to talk about how to repot a plant for beginners. Let's go. In today's video, we're going to be showing you how to repot a plant if you're a beginner, or just some tips that maybe you didn't know about. To start with, you want to have all your supplies ready. I have a little tub to keep everything contained. This can get a little messy. I have the plant that I'm going to repot. I have the soil mix I'm going to be using. I have a catch pot. And we have my nursery pot. Let's get started. Now that we have all our supplies ready, let's get started. Take your pot, and if it has a nursery pot, remove that existing pot. You'll know that your plant needs to be repotted if these roots are growing around so it looks like they're forming the pot. This one might not be quite ready, but it's pretty big on the top, so I feel okay repotting it, especially since this snake plant looks like it's in a peat moss. Just plain peat moss. What we're going to start with is we're going to loosen up this root ball. And if you break a couple of the roots, it's not going to matter. They'll recover. You kind of only want to repot when the plant is actively growing or going into the growing season, so mid to late spring and early summer is great. If you take off some of this potting medium it's in, and I wouldn't call this soil, it just looks like peat moss, and just let that fall into your tub. Once you've loosened up those roots a bit, got some of that old potting medium out, we're going to go ahead and repot it. Take your nursery pot, and we're going to use this soil mix. This is a pre-bagged soil mix I bought by Black Gold, which makes some pretty good stuff for pre-bagged mixes. I have added some more perlite to it. That's the little expanded lava rock. Very light and airy and creates a well-draining mix, which is great for succulents or succulent-like plants. And then I've also added some worm castings to act as a natural plant food and some more lava rock. We just want to get that really airy mix for something that doesn't need a lot of water. We're going to start by putting some of that in the bottom of the pot. You're gonna take your plant and you're gonna settle it down into that mix. I like to use a couple fingers to hold that in place because then we're going to be adding some more potting mix around the sides. Now, as you're doing this, you want to work it down into the pot with your fingers. Make sure to work that soil down in and get out those air pockets. You don't want to compact this like it's concrete, but you just want to make sure to work out any bubbles in the soil. I always like to leave a little bit of room on these when you're repotting them so that when you are watering them, there's enough of the nursery pot here to catch the water and it's just not pouring over the sides. Once you get all this soil in there and it feels kind of tight, so it's not going to flop over, then you can go ahead and stick it in your new catch pot. Now you don't have to put it in the catch pot, I just like it because I don't have time to take everything to the sink to water it. So I like watering them in the catch pots going back and checking to see if I need to dump anything out. This catch pot is also going to have room at the bottom. So if I overwater it a little bit and don't get back to check on it, it's not going to matter quite as much. After you have gotten the soil put in and in your new catch pot, or just a drip tray, you want to go ahead and give your new repotted plant a thorough watering. I like to thoroughly saturate the soil and let it drain out well. After it's done draining, I didn't get much water in here, so I might water it a little more. After you get to know your plants, you'll know that this pot feels pretty heavy. It doesn't need water right now. And it's not sitting in this water at the bottom, so I may just leave it. If not, you can just always dump that water out. If you'd like to know more in depth about how to water plants, let us know in the comments and we can do a video on how to water for beginners. I hope you found some helpful information in this video. Go ahead and give us a like if you did, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.